Anna wiped down the counter for the third time that hour, her hands moving in practice circles across the synthwood surface. The diner floated in the nebula sector, a way station between dying stars where species from across the galaxy came to refuel, eat, and occasionally conduct business that couldn't be done in more civilized ports. She'd worked here for 2 years now, ever since the mining colony had gone dark, and she'd needed to disappear. The door chimed, a soft melodic tone that seemed absurdly cheerful given who just walked in. Jenny entered with the kind of presence that made gravity itself seem negotiable. He was draconian, one of the ancient reptilian species that had ruled 3 systems before humans had even discovered fire. His scales shimmered with an iridescence that shifted from deep emerald to burnished gold depending on the angle of the light. He stood nearly 8 feet tall, his tail curled behind him with casual grace, and his eyes, those vertical-slitted amber eyes, swept the diner with the practiced assessment of someone who'd survived countless assassination attempts. "Table for 1, Jenny's voice rumbled, each word carried on a breath that smelled faintly of sulfur and stardust. Anna grabbed a menu, her heart rate steady despite knowing exactly who this was. Everyone in 7 systems knew Jenny. He controlled the synthetic spice trade from the core worlds to the outer rim, had brokers in every major government, and allegedly once negotiated a peace treaty between 2 warring species, just so his shipping routes would remain undisturbed. "Right this way, sir," she said, leading him to a corner booth with a view of the swirling purple nebula outside the viewport. Jenny settled into the reinforced seat designed to accommodate his bulk. His claws, each one the length of Anna's finger, drummed once on the table. "Coffee, black, and whatever passes for protein in this establishment." "Coming right up." Anna returned to the kitchen, placed the order with Crix, the 4-armed Zentoran who served as cook, dishwasher, and occasional bouncer, and surveyed the diner through the serving window. That's when she noticed him. The waiter had arrived sometime in the last few minutes, wearing the diner's standard-issue uniform that he'd clearly stolen or replicated. He was humanoid, probably from one of the colony worlds, with the kind of forgettable face that professional killers cultivated. But Anna had spent her childhood in the worst districts of New Terra, and she recognized the signs. The way he moved with too much purpose, the slight asymmetry of his uniform where something was concealed on his left side, the cold calculation in his eyes as he watched Jenny. Her breath caught. This wasn't just business, this was execution. The diner had 3 other customers, a Grellian couple sharing a plate of fried starbugs, and an elderly human reading yesterday's holonews. None of them appeared to notice anything wrong. The fake waiter was positioning himself, moving closer to Jenny's booth with a pot of coffee he'd grabbed from the station. Anna's mind raced. She could trigger the silent alarm, but station security was 20 minutes away at best, and whatever was about to happen would happen in seconds. She could shout a warning, but that might trigger a firefight that could kill everyone in the diner, herself included. She grabbed a napkin and a marker used for writing order numbers. Her handwriting was quick and messy but legible. "Listen, fake waiter, armed, left side." "Order up," Crix called, sliding Jenny's plate through the window. Anna grabbed it with one hand, the napkin palmed in the other. She crossed the diner, acutely aware of the fake waiter now just 10 feet from Jenny's booth, the coffee pot raised as if offering a refill that wasn't needed yet. "Your protein hash, sir," Anna said, setting the plate down. As she did, she placed the napkin directly in front of Jenny, her hand pressing it flat against the table for just a moment longer than necessary. Jenny's eyes flicked down, then up to Anna's face, then with the barest movement to the left. The fake waiter was 5 feet away now. "You know," Jenny said, his voice carrying that deep resonance that could make planets negotiate, "I've always appreciated good service." He moved with a speed that belied his size. One clawed hand swept up, catching the fake waiter's wrist just as the man's hand dove under his jacket. There was a sickening crack of bone, and a weapon, some kind of plasma derringer, clattered to the floor. The fake waiter screamed and dropped the coffee pot. It shattered, spraying hot liquid across the synthwood floor. Jenny stood, lifting the would-be assassin off his feet with one hand. "Who sent you?" The man's face had gone white with pain. The consortium, they said you were getting too big, too powerful." "The consortium always says that." Jenny's voice was almost bored. He turned to Anna, still holding the struggling assassin like a child holds a broken toy. "You saved my life, girl. That's worth something in my world." Anna met his gaze steadily. "Just doing my job. We don't allow weapons in the diner." Something that might have been amusement flickered across Jenny's reptilian features. "Just your job? Yes, of course." He pulled out a credit chip with his free hand and tossed it on the table. "For your trouble, and the coffee." The chip glowed with a denomination that made Anna's breath catch, enough to buy the entire diner 3 times over. "I can't," she started. "You can, you will." Jenny dragged the whimpering assassin toward the door. "A debt unpaid is a weakness in my business, and I don't tolerate weakness. Besides, something tells me you understand what it means to need a new start." He paused at the door, looking back. "Anna, isn't it? I saw your name tag. Unusual name for someone working in a waystation diner, almost like you're running from something." Anna's blood went cold, but Jenny just smiled, or did whatever draconians did that passed for a smile. "Don't worry, your secrets are safe. Consider us even, your silence about whatever brought you here, my silence about this." He gestured with the assassin. "Though if you ever tire of slinging hash to criminals and travelers, look me up. I can always use someone with good instincts and better reflexes." Then he was gone, the door chiming cheerfully behind him. Anna stood frozen for a moment, staring at the credit chip on the table. Crix emerged from the kitchen, all 4 arms crossed. "That was either the smartest or stupidest thing you've ever done," the Zentoran said. "Probably both," Anna admitted. She picked up the credit chip, feeling its weight, enough to disappear again, or enough to stop running. Through the viewport, she watched Jenny's ship, a sleek predator of chrome and shadow, detach from the station. The assassin would be dealt with somewhere between here and the next system, and the consortium would think twice before sending another. Anna pocketed the chip and started cleaning up the spilled coffee. Tomorrow, she'd decide what to do with Jenny's gift. Tonight, she had a diner to run, customers to serve, and the strange satisfaction of knowing that sometimes, in a galaxy full of violence and chaos, a simple napkin and a moment of courage could change everything. The nebula outside swirled in its eternal dance, indifferent to the small dramas of the creatures who passed through its light. And in the corner booth, Jenny's coffee sat cooling, untouched, a reminder that even dragon bosses needed someone watching their back. Anna smiled and got back to work.